You want to be Abby and I'll be Ann?
Sure.
Okay. How you doing, Abby?
What's
So,
up?
last week, well, okay, earlier this week was the RNC. Yay. What? Out of the RNC gave some of the best headlines ever. My favorite was the KKK, Black Lives Matter, and Westboro Baptist throwing bags of piss at each other. Yay!
No, seriously, when I saw that, I went, wait, is that a joke? Did somebody just write that because it was funny? And then I had to research it.
Is it The Onion?
Right? I was like, I really want to laugh at this, but I want to know if it's real first. So while a lot of this was going on, I was in the middle of nowhere. I was in Yellowstone, which, by the way, viewers, go there. Seriously, just go. It is so amazingly beautiful. Tons of wildlife. You're away from everything. You have virtually no internet unless you're at your hotel. And even then, we stayed at a hotel at the south entrance of Yellowstone that had no TV and no internet, and it was the best night of my life. It was amazing. We played card games with the kids. It was incredible. So take yourself from the madness that is 2016. Go on up to Yellowstone. Now, I will warn you, it's not warm. I got caught in a hailstorm. Hail. Like actual hail was pelting me. That wasn't fun. But the rest of the trip was amazing. We got snow, hail, rain, thunderstorm, sunshine, and the first day we were there, it was 90 degrees. Just saying. But it was awesome. So I actually got away from a lot of this craziness. But the RNC, now, that urine throwing headline was amazeballs. But my favorite story that came out of the RNC were the hundreds of women that claimed we only see women as bodies, like as sexual objects. So the way they decided to demonstrate against this was to get naked. I'm confused. You don't want me to see you as a body, as like lady parts only. But the way you tell me not to do that is to show me all your lady parts.
I would like to know what goes through these people's minds, in all honesty, when they show up to what that they know is going to be heavily covered by the media and pull these kind of stupid stunts.
Yeah.
Like, are you think you're going to get your 15 minutes of fame? Are you just caught up in it because the whole mob mentality type of thing? Because in all honesty, even though I don't show a lot of my body because yeah, I have a lot of insulation. Even if I look like my nieces who are like thin, no. Number one, because I know my grandmother would come back from heaven and slap me upside the back of my head if I was to ever go outside in public and show my body. Same thing with throwing my urine. She would come back down and hit me in the back of my head.
Yeah,
and my grandmother is not a violent woman.
I just don't understand. So these types of headlines have prompted us to decide to help you. Now, we like to dispense advice. We think we're pretty good at it. maybe we're not. I don't know. But I have had several instances where I've given advice to friends who didn't take that advice, but then like 6 months later it came back at me and said, man, I should have listened to you. Yes, you should have. So tonight is all about giving you advice. Disclaimer. It's my birthday. I've been drinking a lot. My advice, you might want to take with a grain of salt at this point. But I will be very honest with you.
Exactly. And my advice is to drive fast and take chances.
Be James Dean.
There we go. So, I've been thinking about this whole election thing. And basically, if I vote for one of the two major party candidates, we're going to go into a depression and everything is going to be doom and gloom in this country. And everybody's like all up in arms. Woo! Me personally, I see it as a mass culling of the herd. Now, I'm not trying to be mean, but we go through another depression. You know who's going to survive? The people that know how to plant and sow their own gardens with like plants in, vegetables and stuff to that nature, because they don't have to rely on the government for food. You know who's not going to survive? People who have never worked before and live on welfare.
This is true. So here's the deal. If you don't know how to plant food and grow it, like me, I have a black thumb. Like, seriously, plants see me coming, they die. They're just like, no, it's faster if we kill ourselves. Then you might want to consider food storage, which is a beautiful thing. I actually have some MREs. We took them actually with us to Yellowstone, and my mom thought we were insane and like some sort of like prepper crazy people. But the thing is, if you have a supply of food on hand, you won't die. I'm just saying, like rainwater, you can drink. Water is necessary. And you can actually get that with food storage too, by the way. They have like canned water. Bagged water, basically, is what it is. And we have some of that too. We're not crazy prepper people. We're just thinking outside the box. What happens if my husband loses his job and we don't have money? Well, guess what? We need food. We have a family of 5. So we bought ahead. We have food. So just consider that. If you're not very much of a green thumb, there's several places you can get food from. Invest.
Yes.
But buy a little here and there. They're actually pretty yummy.
Yeah. And if you were raised like me, there's this thing called canning that you can do with fruits and vegetables. And if you don't know how to can, I don't know how to can as of right now. Mainly because you need a special pressure cooker for it and lots of mason jars. But I have friends that do it. But that's also another way to save food from like the summer, because that's how we used to have to do it. You take the summer fruits and you can them, and you're able to eat them during the winter.
Yep. It's amazing.
It's one of those things you have to kind of think ahead. There's not convenience foods. It's not like you can go and get, it's not like a Doritos. It's not microwavable pizza type of stuff.
No.
But it's healthy.
Yeah. Consider this. Venezuela. Just consider Venezuela. Did you know that the McDonald's in Venezuela have stopped serving the Big Mac because they can't get the piece of bread that goes in between the two patties? That's non-existent anymore. They're not able to actually get that anymore. Yay, socialism. There's no food on the shelves. People were weeping because a little bit of food came into Venezuela. Consider that. So I'm not saying that's going to happen here.
No.
Not all doom and gloom over here. I'm just saying, hedge your bets. Is it really going to kill you to have a little extra food on hand? No.
Not only that, always make sure you have enough toilet paper on hand. Sorry, you said Venezuela, and that was the first thing that went missing was the toilet paper.
Yes.
Toilet paper went missing before the food did.
Yeah, you might want to, like, if the apocalypse comes, you might want to have an extra storage of toilet paper because you could really barter that for a lot. Just saying.
And if you get 2-ply, you could separate it, have 1-ply. Just saying.
We're just trying to help you out.
Exactly.
And that's kind of doomy and gloomy. Let's get into some more fun advice because I feel like we're doomy and gloomy, and I don't want to be that way. Let's be fun.
Can I say one more thing that I like from the RNC?
Yay! Yes.
What's her name? Melania?
Oh, when you're done, remind me to tell you a funny story. Okay, go on.
Okay. All right. Number one, just her. The shirt that she wore, Seinfeld's puffy shirt. Number two, if you're going to have a speech written for you, maybe you might want to read it beforehand to make sure exactly what you're saying. Because I don't know if she knew it or not, but she basically rickrolled America. So good job, speechwriter. Sorry, that was my favorite. Oh, and my other favorite thing is Donald is very loyal, says his third wife.
Whom he met because he cheated on his second wife. But you know, whatever, it's cool. No, I have a funny story. So we're on vacation and we're having breakfast at the hotel and the TV is on. Donald Trump is on, Melania is on. This is like right when the speech brouhaha happened. My eldest daughter is sitting next to me watching the TV with this look on her face like, what the hell is going on? And when the news piece is done, she taps me on my shoulder and says, Mom, is Melania his wife or his daughter? I thought it was a solid question. I explained that
he's made comments about his daughter before. I mean, that's a fair question.
It's a solid question, and so I explained to her that no, that's his wife, and they have a son, but then she got confused. She's like, there's an awful lot of people in his family. I said, well, yes, he's had 3 wives and they've all had kids and most of the kids are grown and they have families of their own. He only has 1 small child and that was with Melania and he's 9. And she's like, all right. She seemed very confused by it all. Mind you, she has a marriage example of my husband and I, who we've only been married once, and that's to each other, and we just celebrated our 18th anniversary. So, you know, there's that.
Yeah. So advice is, don't be the Trumps. And if you're going to choose a Trump, choose Donald J. Trump Jr.
How is he not married?
I thought he was married. Is he not
married?
I'm pretty sure
he is married. I know one of the boys isn't married.
Oh, that's the blonde one.
Yeah.
No.
Donald Trump Jr. is married?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's married with 3 kids.
Is he? Well, then she's a lucky woman.
Yes.
I'm just going to say, because that boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders despite his upbringing.
Yes.
Ivanka, on the other hand. Can we just talk about Ivanka for a minute?
Sure.
Now, it's just to be totally honest, I didn't actually watch her speech. I've read snippets of it, and I've seen what people have said, and I've actually seen little snippets of it. I honestly think that woman gets away with how she looks, because she is flippin' gorgeous. She's stunningly beautiful. But she talked about a lot of democratic, socialist kind of things in her speech that she gave while introducing her father. And did anybody else find it odd that she introduced her father instead of the wife introducing her husband?
Like I said, her and Donald have a interesting relationship. So yeah.
It's creepy, and she's creepy, and she kind of turned into Hillary Clinton for a minute there. Well, like 15 minutes, however long her speech was. I was so happy when I changed my registration to Republican, and now I'm like, crap. I might need to go back to being independent because crap. It's just crap. All of it is crap at this point.
Yeah, here's my thing. Just to kind of off topic of giving advice. Because we're doing so well now.
We're awesome.
Yes. I'm so glad I live in a state where we don't have to register with a party, because I don't understand that at all. Party registration, because that doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you want to help out like the national party or even the state party, I don't care. But why do I have to sit there and say, this is the way I'm going to vote? You don't need to know how I vote. It's supposed to be secret ballot. You don't need to know. Yeah. That's just me.
No, I totally agree with that.
When I'm voted as libertarian dictator, I will try to facilitate that change, because I'm not going to have control over state rights. So, but I'll try to facilitate that kind of a change.
Please, because it's very frustrating to me that I have to be registered as a Republican to be able to vote in the primaries. I don't like that. I feel like I should be able to vote in the primaries. It should be an open primary in every state, everywhere. But states' rights, each state can do what they want, blah, blah, blah. Like in my state, you can't write in a vote. There's no write-in option when you go to vote in the general election, which is quite disturbing. However, the flip side of that is you do have an option on the ballot to vote for no candidate. And that's kind of cool. And it's very appealing at this point. I'm just going to say, it's very appealing to say I don't want to vote for anybody. Although there is a candidate that I'm leaning toward.
I'm leaning towards SMOD. All debt wiped out in the first 5 seconds. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that.
Hey, with SMOD, I get to go to heaven.
True.
I don't like that.
As long as your ticket's validated, yeah.
It should be.
All right, let's get back to giving out advice.
Ooh, advice. Yes.
Okay, so here's my advice for protesters. Whether it be BLM, the Queers Against Whatever, that when I let our friend Andrew Lawton talk to, because they had to go to their safe space. When protesting, really think about the message you want to send, because cameras are everywhere. They're going to find everything. Blocking traffic is not a good way to protest. I remember, like, I think last year, an ambulance couldn't get through I saw one earlier this week. This older gentleman was just trying to walk down the sidewalk, and these people blocked him on the sidewalk and they wouldn't even look him in the face. They were just kept blocking him. Okay, that's being childish, and that's how I'm going to see it. That is not an effective protest. So my advice is think about how you want to protest and make it so you don't come off looking like a 3-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. You want to go out there and have a clear message of what you want to say. There's different ideas on how you can do that. But just make sure you don't, like I said, don't look like a 3-year-old. And if you're going to throw things at each other, please don't make it urine. It's kind of stinky and messy. Can I suggest water balloons? And if you want to add something to it, there's this thing called tempera paint. It's powder. Put some of that in there, mix it up with the water in there, and then you can throw it at people, and then they get splattered, but it's washable. Because you don't want to do other people's clothing.
You could do glitter.
Glitter, if you really want to make an impact, because let's just face it, that's the herpes of craft supplies, and that will never come out.
It will. In fact, actually, my daughter had glitter in her hair when she turned 6 at Disney World. We went to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and she got glitter. And I don't think it fully came out of her hair till she was 8.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so it does come out, but it takes a while.
It does. It does. But if you wanted to like mix it in water or something, that would like be really cool. Like get somebody to videotape it, slow-mo.
Oh, that would be.
Glitter everywhere. Oh my gosh, how cool would that look? Anywho, that right? That would be awesome.
Exactly.
Rainbow glitter. Look into it.
My biggest advice for basically this past week is as you know, I put this as my Facebook status. Don't buy into the anger. Don't buy into. I've seen too many people get into that angry vortex. You know, like they start out under like they just get a little bit angry about something, and then they just start spiraling. So like they're full blown angry. Full blown angry is how you got a lot of the protesters and Trump supporters. Don't buy into the angry. We all have joy inside of us, and if you can't find your joy, contact one of us and we'll help you find it. But there's a joy there. I personally would rather live in joy than perpetual anger. Number one, it's way better for your body. The saying. And then plus, the less grumpier you are, the less assholes you meet. Saying.
Yes, this is true. I have to confess something here. I'm actually telling my husband to quietly bring me some more wine. I am almost so you might see an appearance with my husband here in a minute, because I need wine. I need wine.
It's wine's important.
Oh, hey, here's a good piece of advice. When deciding to get married, choose your best friend. I'm just saying, because sex is awesome. It is amazing. However, there is a point in your life where sex is going to be like, no, please go away from me. Don't touch me. But there will never be a time in your life where you won't want to have a good conversation, where you won't want to laugh with somebody, where you won't want to go to a show with somebody, where you won't want to go to a movie with somebody. If you're with somebody who is truly your best friend, It's amazing. Here comes my best friend to bring me wine. He's awesome.
Hi, best friend.
My husband.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh, Peachy Keen, Jelly Bean.
Do you have any advice for our viewers, my love? Thank you.
Don't hit on 21.
That's good. Good Lord. He left me like a 1/4 inch at the top of my glass.
You'll be fine.
I will. Don't hit on 21. That's a good piece of advice.
Whoa. As long as we're giving out that kind of good advice. Never play leapfrog with a unicorn.
That's valid. Oh, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh, always split aces and eights. Always.
There you go. Always.
Never be a douche canoe.
No.
I encountered a douche canoe this week.
I'm sorry.
No, let me explain. It's actually an interesting story, and I might actually take screenshots and post the conversation because it was beyond rude what was done. So, okay. So as many of you know, I guess I'm kind of new to the conservative side in that 8 years ago, I actually voted for Obama. Now, you should know that that is a vote I regret. It is the only vote I've ever casted that I actually regret and have done everything that I can to change it. So, fast forward to 2 nights ago. So, somebody that we know who is a conservative has drank the Trump Kool-Aid, hook, line, and sinker, like is bathing in it. Decided to completely tear down Gary Johnson and Ted Cruz. And we were simply asking him to go ahead and list Trump's merits. Like, the things that make him want to vote for Trump. And the only thing he could really come up with is he's not Hillary. Which, okay, fine. All right. But when I entered the conversation, I got blindsided with a very long tirade about how basically I have no say because I voted for Obama 8 years ago, and how did that work out, and something about white guilt and a couple other things. So here's the thing. When debating somebody, stick to the facts, don't get personal, and don't be a douche canoe, because likely that person will lambaste you everywhere they can. And I plan on doing that because that was bullshit.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. Can I just say this is like the most fucked up election season? You know, here's the thing. Could you imagine if we had social media back in the revolution? America would have probably never happened.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the Civil War? Oh, Lord. Lord Almighty. Here's the thing. Yeah, we all make mistakes. We all have problems in the past. And yes, maybe I was a liberal in the past, but I chalk that up to the fact that I was raised by hardcore bleeding heart liberals. And no one ever talked, I had no one in my circle of friends that ever talked to me about the conservative side of things. It was all liberal, education, everything. In my house, Ronald Reagan was never spoken about, ever. So, yeah, it took me a while to break free of that cycle. and be able to figure out where I actually stood on things. Now, I think that I've done a pretty damn good job of proving that, hey, I screwed up for the good percentage of my life. So to have that thrown in my face is just rude, beyond all comprehension. Don't do that to people. Just don't. Just try to have conversations. Don't come with an agenda. Attempt to listen to what people are saying, because even if you don't agree with them, they may have a good rationale and they may have a good thought process and they may have a take on it that you have never thought about.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. The advice I want to give right now,
Yeah.
not to take away from that,
Yeah.
is I've been watching, what a lot of people have been saying, and like I said, the anger. And I remember, like, one time I was traveling with a mutual friend of both of ours, and we're in a pretty big city, and I stayed my Midwestern self. Wasn't thinking about it. I was raised to be polite. You say excuse me, you say good morning, that kind of stuff. Well, when I did that stuff, this person kind of like snapped at me, sitting there going, "Don't do that. They're going to know you're a tourist. They're going to know I'm a tourist anyway." And now, actually, they don't care unless you're one of the stupid tourists who stops in the middle of the sidewalk. So that's one bonus piece of advice. When being a tourist in another city, if there is a moving sidewalk where people are just constantly walking, don't stop in the middle of it to take a picture. Move out of the way of traffic. Then take a picture and then go it back in, merge back in. Not hard. But my main piece of advice is as simple as this sounds. Just be nice to each other. I have noticed, like, when I go shopping in the morning, if I make eye contact with somebody, I say morning. I don't say good morning or anything, but I say morning with a cheerful thing, like morning, because it's one of those things, like, you made a connection with another human being. If it's only for like 2 seconds, but with that, I've seen I say it to a lot of elderly people because they're not used to anybody, especially with my hair color going on, being polite. So when I say morning to them, it's kind of like refreshing. Not only that, when I'm at work, I've had a couple of the new people come up to me because they can't remember my name, or they just didn't know what my name was, so they asked. And they since told me that when they try to find out what my name is, or they can't remember it, it's always the girl with the crazy hair color, and I always get compliments afterwards by how nice I am. You want to know how nice I am? When people pass, I give them a smile or a smile and a wave. It's like real simple. Morning. They're far away.
Well, and how hard is it to do that? Like, exactly. Really, how much energy does it expend from you to be able to say hi or good morning or even just morning? Just like, what does that take from you? Now, I will say, occasionally I have done that and been trapped in a 15-minute conversation with somebody that I was not intending to be a part of. However, obviously that person needed to talk to somebody, and so I've given them a gift. And really, what did it cost me? It cost me 15 minutes of my life? Nah, big whoop. It probably made their day. Like, wake up every day thinking, what can I do for somebody else? Whether that be your child, your spouse, a stranger on the street, your coworker, whatever. Try to do something for somebody else. Stop being so narcissistic. Yeah, just stop that.
Well, like my pastor was saying last week, everybody wants to do like this big grand gesture. Like, they want to be able to give a couple $1,000s to their favorite charity. Yeah, that in your head, that would be great because that would be phenomenal. But it's the little things. Everybody gets so caught up in this big grand idea. And it's like, no, the little things are what really matter because that grand gesture is only going to happen once.
Right.
And that's it. If you do like the little things and can do them somewhat consistently, it's kind of like a ripple effect,
Yeah. Like,
you give a smile to somebody, that makes their day feel a little bit better. And so because they feel a little bit better, they go about their day feeling a little better and, making other people feel a little bit better. And really, for a lot of times, it's just a smile. Sometimes, like I said, just saying morning,
Yep.
I know my day was made when I was a door greeter at church, and it was raining out. And so I had an umbrella in my back seat, so brought it with me inside the church. And when people with children were coming up, and some women that, had their hairs all done, I would go out and I would hold the umbrella over their head. Well, this one lady who has 3 kids, I went out and, put the umbrella over her and her middle child. The baby was with daddy that day, but and the middle child really wanted to get underneath the umbrella, so I made room for her so she could get under, and then I got a little wet, no big deal. So, I'm walking them up to church. Well, she happened to stop at my favorite coffee stop before coming to church and bought an extra coffee. So I got the extra coffee.
Yay.
Sometimes it comes back full circle.
Well, and don't always expect something back from being.
No, that was just like wonderful. I'm like, thank you. She's like, no, thank you. And I'm like,
it's the most awesome thing. Like, okay, so I told you I got caught in a hailstorm, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. My youngest is fascinated with horses. And that night we were doing a covered wagon trip into Pleasant Valley in Yellowstone for a steak cookout, outdoor cookout. Really, really fun. Like they sang cowboy songs and it was really fun. So as we're going, we noticed the sky starting to darken and this storm coming in, but we didn't really think much of it. We're undercover. It's fine. If the rain comes, we're undercover. Well, the lightning got real close, like super close. And then it started to rain. Well, the rain didn't fall down. It fell sideways. And because my daughter is so fascinated with horses, she and I were in the very front row of the covered wagon. And the rain was coming toward us. So we were soaked. The gal that was narrating the whole trip and like answering questions and whatever, her name was Bailey. She was the best. Oh my God, the best. She threw us a towel and said, stay dry. So I throw the towel over my daughter's and my laps because that was the worst part. Like we had coats that would protect us, but our legs were getting pretty wet. And as soon as I threw that over our laps, the hail started. And we're talking pea-size hail. Like, it hurt. It stung so badly. And my daughter is crying and screaming and just, like, she's in pain. Here's what acts of kindness will get you. So we had been thrown a towel, right? As soon as the hail started, this girl, Bailey, gave us her Western hat and put it on my daughter's head. I covered my daughter with a towel and shielded her as much as I could with my body. I got pelted with hail like crazy, but my daughter was totally protected. She got stung a couple of times with the hail, but she was protected. The driver with the 2 horses, 2,000 pounds each, that could have easily taken off, and he needed to have control. He lost his hat. His hat flew off his head because the wind was so bad. That man got pelted with so much hail because he had to keep control of these horses so we didn't go flying off the trail. If those 2 people hadn't done their jobs and hadn't done their acts of kindness, my daughter would have been injured. We all would have been injured. They did an amazing job. So when we got done and we were back, I'm getting off the wagon, and I just hugged Bailey. I hugged her so hard. And I just said, thank you so much for protecting my daughter. We both started tearing up. I'm tearing up right now because it was just such a moment. It was so sweet. She took care of my daughter. She didn't know my daughter from Adam. Like, it was amazing. They took so much, but our driver found his hat. He got his hat for the ride home. So that was cool. But anyway, that's just a way to know to be nice to people. You know what I just realized?
Huh.
I didn't start a timer, and I didn't pay attention what time we started.
Neither did I.
Oh, we're so professional, people. We're so, but
Very
okay.
professional. So,
I
how about this?
It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay.
Sure.
10 minutes.
Let's use 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Now, oh shoot, I had advice and shoo.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, because
Go.
it's been a long week. Here's my advice. And it's something that we talk about at my job a lot. And if we call it Take 2 for safety. And what Take 2 is, take a couple, like 2 seconds, stand back, think about what you're going into before you do it. Whether, like at my job, because we work with machines that are pneumatically powered. And even if you shut the machine off, there's still some stored power in some of these moving parts, and it gets unlodged, and your fingers happen to be in the way. Bye, fingers. But it also goes with things around the house. Like if you're doing some home repairs or something and you get up on a ladder, maybe the ladder is sitting on uneven ground. Maybe the supports aren't as good as they're supposed to be. The feet pads aren't good. It's one of those things. Before you go and do something, take an extra second. Make sure you're going to do it safely. Just like little things around the house, outside, especially in your car, work, in the grocery store. Always be aware of your surroundings. I'd rather take a couple, seconds to reevaluate things than to go in. This is especially for Pokemon Go players. Always pay attention to your surroundings. Quit walking into traffic. Quit playing in the bushes outside of police departments. And do not, for the love of God, walk onto a military base.
Oh, I have something else for Pokemon Go.
Okay.
Don't play while driving. Also, if you're near somewhere and a rare Pokemon shows up, whatever, shows up, don't run into traffic. Don't stop your car and block traffic. There is video near Central Park in New York City because a rare Pokemon showed up. People actually got out of their cars, left their cars in the middle of the street to go find this Pokemon. It's a game. I get it. I understand you want to catch them all. Cool. Use your common sense. Like, I guess that's the biggest piece of advice. Use your brain. Use your common sense. You're driving along. Park your car. Maybe it's not convenient for you to go catch that Pokemon. Okay. Sucks to be you. Just be smart. Check your surroundings. Know where you are. Know where you're going. Know what other people are doing. Freaking Justin Bieber showed up. Nobody knew who he was because they were all too busy looking for a Pokemon.
Sorry. That's just funny. Sorry, funny.
It's funny.
Good
It's ridiculousness.
You know what? The world is starting to turn into like one big onion headline is what's happening. Okay, I kind of want to leave on this kind of advice because, oh my goodness, so many things happening. When you are pulled over by an officer, please, don't be an idiot. Don't be. Okay, I know there's been a lot of stories lately, with police, and the one that happened in Miami a couple days ago, the cop is even gone. I don't know why I shot him. Luckily, it was just in the leg, and the guy's going to be fine. But please, don't be stupid, because I remember when I want to say Castile shooting happened, and I had a whole bunch of people at work, kind of yelling at me about cops. I'm sitting there going, okay. I said, well, we're getting some misinformation here because my understanding is if you have like a CCW type of permit and you tell the cop, hey, I have it on me, and you let the cop know ahead of time, the cop, there's procedures that the cop is supposed to take, like ask you to leave, get out of the vehicle, and then you put your hands on top of the car and tell them where the gun is. And once they have the gun in control, then you're able to, back off and continue the conversation. And people are sitting there going, well, he was reaching back for his wallet, and the cop thought he was reaching for his gun. Well, then there was a miscommunication. Some procedure wasn't followed, whatever. I'm like, something went wrong, and I would like to know the story. So now that we got more of the story, I think we got the whole story now. I'm not sure, because I kind of gave up on it. But just communicate with the officer. Like Miss Muffy said, don't be a douche canoe.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just use this lovely pink mask between your two ears. Seriously, it helps out a lot.
It really does. And specifically with the Castile shooting, yeah. Let's clear that up right now. He was not pulled over for a broken taillight. He was pulled over because he matched the description of an armed robber from a couple of days ago. And actually, if you match the picture of the armed robber with him together, yeah, I'll be surprised if it comes out that he wasn't the armed robber, honestly. Either that or he has an evil twin that's running around the Twin Cities. But as a CCW carrier, you inform the officer that you have a CCW, that you have your weapon with you, where it is, and you ask the officer how you want to proceed with the rest of the stop. Let the officer have control of the situation. That means that both of you will go home alive. Just saying. Or with like no extra holes. That that's helpful too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be stupid. We've said
So I
that
think that's
before.
that could be like the whole tagline of this thing. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. Don't be stupid. Don't throw bags of urine. Don't show your body if you want to be seen as something more than just your body. Don't reach for your weapon if you're a CCW carrier. And don't be a douche canoe. Like, don't throw people's past up in their face because obviously they've done everything that they can to change that. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be nice to each other. Gosh darn it. You have to come around and kick all your butts.
Try a random act of kindness. Just try it.
It's so much fun. I wish people understood. There's that saying, it's always better to give than to receive. And a lot of people don't understand it anymore. But I love seeing the looks on people's faces when I give them something or I've done something for them. And it's just like, oh my goodness. Because it's enough to change their outlook
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while. I mean, it's like simple things. It's not like you don't have to make a grand gesture. Sometimes it's just like, hey, I made you a cookie.
Well, yeah, like, okay, when I go to Starbucks, which is not that much, but when I go to Starbucks, I look in my rearview mirror. If the person behind me is in uniform, any uniform, scrubs, military, police, I don't care. If you're in uniform and you're behind me, I'm paying for your drink. That's just all there is to it. And that's just policy for me. Because you work hard enough.
Exactly. And you don't make union wages.
No. So just think about doing random acts of kindness. And even within your own life, be kind.
If you are married, especially do a random act of kindness for your spouse. And if you have children, do random acts of kindness together.
Yeah.
Teach your kids how to just do random things.
Bake cookies. Take them to a police department. Just saying. They'll be well received. They really will.
I can't picture a cop sitting there going, no, thank you. I don't want any cookies today.
Well, after what happened in Columbus, maybe not, because that officer got served glass in his freaking sandwich. What the hell is wrong with people? Anyway,
Right?
don't be that guy.
Silly people. Anyways. So
Anyway. All right. So I think we've gone past our 10 minutes. We're probably well beyond what we're supposed to be because nobody was keeping track. So if you take issue with anything I've said or you think my advice sucks, just let me know at InDepthGirlism. That's it.
I'm going to leave you with the parting words of Wild Stallions. Be awesome to each other. Bye.